Hello everyone, Wizard101 is going to be turning 15 this year, so I'm going to be going over 15 things that I would like to see before the birthday celebration later this year. This list is slightly in order, meaning that towards the top are things that I would either really like to see or that are pretty realistic to implement into the game. So let's start out with number 15 with an auto lock feature or a Quicksell multiple feature, and meaning that whenever you go into Quicksell, if you click right here, let's say it'll ask, do you want to Quicksell all items of this type? You click yes, it'll highlight all of them in one click. So say you get a lot of, I actually don't have any on me, but whenever you're farming couch potatoes, you'll get a lot of sandwich stations or litter. So you'll just click on it, quick sell multiple, and it'll highlight all of them, and you can quick sell pretty fast that way. And then for the auto lock feature, you click lock, and then it'll ask, do you want to lock all of this type? It'll hit yes, and then it'll lock all of them. And I think that would be a pretty easy thing to implement into the game, just a simple feature to lock multiple things like couch potatoes or socket wrenches, gold keys, stuff like that. So let's move on to number 14. This is more of like an interesting thing that I would like to see, and that is a stats tab of like things that you've accomplished in the game. I know they have badges and stuff that kind of keep track of that kind of things, but maybe like an extra tab between PvP and badges. They're like listing things like how much gold you've spent, how much mobs you've defeated, how many times you've defeated a certain boss or something, like your most killed mob or boss or stuff like that, date joined, and all those kinds of things. I think would be pretty cool to implement into the game, and I know they have to have some kind of data backup for that, so it should be an easy thing to implement a new tab there. So that's my number 14. On to number 13, I would like to see a better quest arrow. And if anybody has recently quested through, I think Mushu and Dragonspire do this a lot. They have a terrible quest arrow where you'll go a certain way, and then it'll decide, oh yeah, that's not the best way, go back this way. So then you'll have to go back another direction, maybe 100 meters before it updates. And I don't know, I feel like the tracking on the arrow should be a little bit better. I mean, 15 years, you would think it would know the best route in like every single place that you're at, but sometimes it does take a little bit for it to kind of calculate the best route. So maybe, I mean, that's something you can get by without, so that's why it's lower on the list. Let's go into number 12 with updated spells. And by that, I mean, maybe these lower rank spells like Heckhound has been the same thing for forever. Firecat, I think, got a little bit of an update. Fire Elf, I know, got an update a while ago. Just these lower rank spells, maybe update them kind of to where like the shadow spells are. Like the one that I would like to see the most is the Stormzilla. I think that would look pretty cool if they would have like a more detailed cityscape there, and then you just see the freaking Stormzilla come through. It would look pretty cool. So that is my number 12 spot, updated spells. That one, again, we can go without because it's not really likely that you're going to be using those spells for too long. I mean, the AoE ones like Meteor Strike, Tempest, those, yeah, that would look very cool to have like a freaking updated Meteor Strike or Tempest, but again, something we can live without. Number 11 is going to be higher max gold. So I know this is kind of irrelevant right now because I have 178,000, but I get to that max gold pretty fast. So maybe have like a max gold of 1 million. I think that would be kind of cool. You wouldn't run out too bad, I don't think. If it was 1 million, which is basically double what it is now. I don't know if at level 160 the cap is higher than 500,000, but I know if you're like above 101 or something, it's like 450 or something like that. But that is number 11, higher max gold. Number 10, and this one I'm actually gonna have to go to a different place. So when I was thinking about this feature, I immediately thought about the Crustacean Empire in Celestia, and then another one would be the Kashibi Village, I think, in Mushu. But what I mean by better teleports is, I think everybody that has played through Celestia knows that this is probably the worst set of teleports in the game. This one's not too bad, but there are a lot of times where you have to go over here and you have to teleport to this place right here and walk all through this just to get to over here. And why not just move this to right there, or just add another teleport right there? I don't know. Another one that's pretty low on the list, so it's something we can go without. People have been struggling in this area for years. I mean, it's okay if they keep it like this, but again, something I would like to see in the game. For number 9, the feature that I would like to see kind of updated would be freaking invisible block. I don't know what the correct term for it is, but I know you guys know what I'm talking about. You're in a fight, you crit, and then for some reason you don't see a block, but it still doesn't kill one of the enemies, but it kills the other one, even though both of them didn't block. And that's because of this invisible block where it did half the damage to this person and not to the other person. Why not just have it to where if they don't block, they don't block, so that you can kind of celebrate a little bit earlier instead of trying to guess? Again, something that's not too annoying, but it is slightly annoying, especially for me. Through my walkthrough, I've been kind of noticing this a little too much, and it kind of gets frustrating thinking that I'm critting through, but then I have to wait until the spell actually hits to wonder if I killed or not. Again, kind of quality of life thing there, just to celebrate a little bit earlier instead of guessing, but again, not something that's really necessary. But on to number 8, and the whole reason why I'm in Azteca: bring back spell quests. Level 88 was actually the last level where they had a dedicated spell quest, and from then on it's just been, oh, here's a spell to help you in your next battle or something like that, and then they throw you here, fire from above, there you go, raging bull here. Why not? I mean, we have the whole Arcanum. Why can't the scholars there just help us out and be like, hey yo, your next spell is gonna be this, go here, collect this, fight this boss, boom, spell quest. Again, something small that I would like to see again, kind of for nostalgia reasons, being at level 88 and getting your Sun Serpent or your Storm Owl or your spells like that, was a really fun experience, I think, for me anyways, to kind of see the build up to what you're gonna get, and not knowing what you're gonna get if you didn't know what the spells already were. The spell quests kind of hint you in a little bit, so that's another feature that I would like to see more brought back, since they did do it at one point, and I mean, it's still in the game, but I would like to see going forward spell quests. At number 7, and kind of carrying on with the quest theme, I would like to see a feature where you can drop a quest, and to be honest, I don't know if that's in the game or not. I'm assuming it's not, because there's the hidden quest here. But basically, why have a hidden quest feature if you can't just drop them? Like, get rid of the hidden quest. I mean, maybe you can keep it in there to where you can just focus on the one or the few that you want, but why can't we just drop a side quest? Like, I know for this one in Marleybone, I have this one for forever. I had the the collecting gems from Krokotopia. I'm never gonna do these quests, and yet they're still here. Why can't we just have something to where, like, maybe up here, or the hidden quest, or one of these places, just hit drop quest? I feel like that would be so much better. Like, I don't want to do collect the scrolls. That's so annoying. And this is from freaking Krokotopia. I mean, it's probably easy to do now, but I don't want to have to go through and actually complete these quests. That might be just me being a little lazy, but that's my opinion on that. I feel like we should be able to drop quests, especially in other MMOs. They let you drop a side quest or something like that. But yeah, and that's my number 7. Number 6 is going to be something that's, again, kind of already in the game, but I don't know why they don't have it actually as a feature. And what I'm talking about is the pet snacks. I want there to be a filter to where you can filter by rank instead of name. So whenever you're transferring things like Captain Cantaloupe or golden wheat bread or fancy yogurts or any kind of mega snacks, it goes by name and not by rank. And I think that it would be a lot easier to have a, because in the bazaar they have it to where it's sorted by rank. So why don't they just do that same thing, but for right here or in the bank? So whenever you go over to the bank, it's just right there. The top things that you want to transfer are right at the top, and you just hit click on it, transfer. Pretty fast number 6 here, because it is something pretty simple to add into the game, and another kind of quality of life thing that I wish was in the game. Again, it doesn't take too much longer to sort through, but sometimes I do miss it. Like the mystic dragon fruit, I don't always think is a mega snack, or like the cherry tomato. So I always skip through those and then kind of forget about mega snacks that I actually do have on the character. And that's only for transferring over. I think now I kind of train my pets only on this account, the highest level, because the energy and the gold, it's easier to come by. But for the strategy where you create a new wizard and then you transfer over that way, it would be a lot easier. So that was number 6. I'm still staying in the pet pavilion for number 5, and the reason for that is number 5, I actually have craftable member benefits. And the reason why I'm here, obviously, is because double pet XP. But the potions over here are the clear hatching slot, which is very useful. Hatchel eggs, not useful at all, because you can literally buy it with gold, so there's no reason to waste hatching peppers. And then next hatch free, again, definitely not worth 200 freaking hatching peppers, excuse me. Whenever you could use this one instead, because gold, again, is pretty easy to come by. But I think that maybe having one craftable recipe for like 500 hatching peppers, and it's the let's even say the 30-minute double member XP for pet, or like crafting bonus or fishing, whatever. Maybe make some kind of craftable recipe for it. They would have to be pretty hard, because there's such good benefits, like the fishing benefit. And I know there are ways to get those potions, but I think the only ways, at least that I know of, are through the crowns. Whenever you're spending crowns, it'll give you as like kind of like compensation for spending a certain amount, or the loyalty store. And I mean, I like the loyalty store, but it's kind of expensive. Spending a whole month for, right now, the crafting benefit is what they're selling in there. But yeah, number 5, craftable member potions. Number 4, and this is for the people that like to pet copy with the kiosk. So this one is going to be recent hatches in the kiosk. So at least for me, I have been trying to find the pet that I hatched with for the last week, and I still can't find it. And I don't know if that's because it's being hatched with, or if the person's just not able to put the pet back in, or whatever it is. But just real quick to kind of shout it out, whoever has Madam Sandy, a Gallant Bull, in the hatching kiosk, if you don't already have it in there, can you please put it in there? Because I've been trying to find your pet for the last week, and I really want to get a triple double balance pet. Okay, now back to the video. Yeah, but having a tab in here, maybe one of these where it says recent pets that you hatched with, and it lists the last 10 or something that you hatched with, so that you can go in there and see if they're available or not. I feel like that would be a feature that would be pretty nice to go with, because whenever you're pet copying, you want to hatch with the same pet, so you could copy the talents completely and not get separated talent pools, to keep the pet as pure as possible. But yeah, that is number 4, recent hatches. Number 3, and actually this is like my number 1 thing that I want to see in the game, but it's number 3 because of how realistic it actually is, and that is updated Krok. They already have textures in the game to update most of it, like from Zigzag you have the sand and the pyramids in there. So just it should be an easy transfer. I mean, you don't necessarily have to change up the questline here, but since whenever they updated Wiz City, they updated the questline also, it would be nice to see the questline updated also. But start out, update the actual textures here. Like, this is literally like the same as what it looked like 15 years ago. And when did the Wizard City update come out? A year or 2 ago, something like that, maybe even longer. So Krokotopia, one of my top 3 favorite worlds because of how nostalgic it is. I would love to see freaking revamped already. It's been 15 years. Can we get something, please? The textures are already in the game, just like Mushu. There are already textures there for a revamp, even though Mushu already looks pretty good, considering how old it is. But Krokotopia, I mean, it could look so amazing with a update. So that is my number 3, but realistically my number 1. On to number 2. Number 2, please let us transfer our treasure cards. I know this is a feature that a lot of people have been asking for many years, and you still can't do it. The only way for us to transfer treasure cards, which we do already, is to literally create a second account if you don't already have one and transfer it that way. And since we're already doing that, why not just let us put it in the bank? I mean, transferring cards like Monstrous or Empowers or Faints or Elemental Spiritual Blades, stuff like that, we should be able to just transfer it. We're gonna get it over to a different character anyways, so just let us. I know that it's in there so that you can't just transfer over like that, but we can. It's not like we're getting an unfair advantage because we're transferring it through the bank onto a lower level character. We're still transferring it over to a lower level character to get increased damage and stuff like that. And now I don't even think you can do PvP below level 50, or maybe it's level 40. I'm not sure. I don't PvP. But what's the point in not being able to transfer over our treasure cards? I think that it would put everything on one account, stop people from getting scammed by like trusting one of their close friends on here because they met them online for like 5 years and they're not going to get scammed by them. But I mean, obviously there are a lot of people on here and very few toxic people. Okay, maybe there's a few. But I'd say at least like 75% of the fan base here, the player base, excuse me, is not toxic, question mark. But transferring over treasure cards from someone that you don't know is kind of sketchy. So just put it in the bank. Let us be able to transfer through the bank. And now let's get on to the number 1 spot. Honestly, just go ahead and give this to us already. You're already extending the date through the end of January. This is probably the most realistic thing to come out of this list that it will happen before the birthday. And that is the free first arc. Right now, they already extended it through January. So it's more than likely that they'll actually just go ahead and unlock the first arc for free for all players. And honestly, I think that would be amazing, considering you can get to like level 10 or something without it. Just unlock the free first arc. You're gonna get more players to probably stick around after decreasing the paywall to where it's at the end where you can actually see the good spells. Well, better looking spells, I guess. You can get all the way up to rank 7, which is where it actually starts to look better. But you actually get to get a feel for the game. Being at level 10, using Firecat or Thunder Snake or whatever for the whole, like 30 minutes that you're playing the game, maybe an hour and a half, something like that you're actually playing the game for free before you actually hit a paywall. It would, I feel, get more people into the game actually. So then you're actually hooked into the game. You get a teaser of what the like story and actual like playing style is, and you actually get to really get into it. So this is actually the most realistic thing that I think is going to come out of this. Eventually they will make the first arc free. Just go ahead and do it for 15 years. I think later this year, 15th celebration, announce, hey, for forever, the first arc is free to everyone. And just leave it at that. Simple. And that is my top 15 things that I would like to see before the birthday celebration later this year. If any King's Isle devs are watching this, feel free to take this information for free. You know, you don't have to mention me. I'm just here suggesting all this on behalf of the community. Hopefully, anyways. If you have any other suggestions of things that you would like to see, leave them in the comments. I also have a Discord if you want to come out and join that. It's pretty chill. We don't really do anything. So if you want to start conversations down there, go ahead and join the Discord. But thanks for watching this video.